Greetings, I am nothing, I am nobody, and this is my opinion. And well, that. It's a few seconds off, but there it is. It's only a few seconds off now. I thought I had it set so that it would turn off, but it only turns off when I'm recording directly from the camera. I've got a very small memory card in there. It's not really any use. It'll fill up the memory card after a few minutes. Yeah, but anyway, moving on. Okay. So I want to get into mansplaining. Basically, it's a way of telling men to shut up when the man has every right to speak. Okay. So I have three examples. Three types of mansplaining. As far as I know, these are the types of mansplaining that exist. Okay. They are either shit women do, and therefore it's not just men, um, or the man's justified in speaking, or shit that doesn't happen. Let me get into this. Basically, first let's get into shit women do. And two examples of this is well, telling men to smile. Women do this all the fucking time. All right, is telling men to smile. I get told when I was a teenager, I would have random women walk up to me and tell me to smile when I'm just walking somewhere. All right, I would have a blank expression. I wouldn't be frowning. I wouldn't be smiling. I would have this blank expression. I would have this random woman walk up to me, somebody I don't know, and just tell me, turn that frown upside down, or smile, or some other crazy thing, right? It's like, what the fuck? You know? Just get out of my way. I'm trying to get somewhere, you know? I don't even know who this person is. It's just some random person that walks up to me and it's not the same person, all right? It's like different people walk up to me every so often. But it's always a woman telling me, that I need to smile. I'm like, what the fuck? You don't know who I am, and you're randomly walking up to a random stranger, telling them what emotions they should have right now. Maybe my best friend just died. You don't know who I am, and you're telling me what to think. Like, fuck you. But there it is, right? Women do this all the fucking time. I've never known a man to do this, but I'm willing to accept that men do this because it wouldn't be an example of mansplaining if it didn't. But here's the thing, right? Maybe, just maybe, he's doing that because women walk up to him all the time and tell him to smile, so he thinks it's perfectly fine to walk up to women and tell them to smile. Then maybe he would not be doing that if women weren't doing that to him. So yeah, there it is. But that just a theory. But I've never known a man that would do that. Right? It's always women, right? But then women who know me don't do that. So I don't fucking it's just this random women showing up out of nowhere. But there it is. Okay. Another example is telling women how to spell or pronounce their names. Obviously, the woman knows how to spell and pronounce their own name. It's their name. But the thing is by calling it mansplaining, you're just claiming that women can do this and it's perfectly okay. Because my last name, I get told I'm pronouncing and spelling my last name the wrong way by women often. All right. And I won't get into it, but, I know how to spell and pronounce my own last name. It's my lane, all right? There's a reason why there are different pronunciations for my and spellings for my last name. But the one that I use is the one that's correct for me. And there are other ones, and the one that somebody else uses is correct for them, for their, to refer to them. Okay. It's just like the McLean clan is so large that there are different ways of pronouncing and spelling that last name to separate different family lines. Okay. I'm not part of the family line that owns that car company, the car motor company, that this the McLaren car company, right? I'm not a McLaren. I'm a McLean. But there you go. And there's a pillow company that has a different spelling and a different pronunciation. Same plan, but yeah, I'm not related because there it goes. But there you go. There are reasons why there are different different ways to spell and pronounce names, right? But I know the correct pronunciation and spelling of my last name. Because I'm not, it's like the name, the spelling and pronunciation that you think that I should use is from a different family line of the same clan. But again, I get corrected by women. So the idea that this is a mansplaining thing, that it's a man thing, no, you're saying that it's perfectly okay when women do it to me. And it's bullshit. No, it's not okay when women do it to me. Just as it's not okay when men do it to you. So that's the and I think the reason that people call it mansplaining is because they don't get to call it out because they do it themselves, all right, and they want the right to do that, so that they say it's mansplaining, so men can't do it but women can. Bullshit. Next one is, men are perfectly justified in just saying it. This one is like, a man is explaining something that well then why is he explaining it? Because you're not, because you're doing things wrong, all right? He's explaining how to do things because you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong and you're doing it anyway. Let's give you an example, like Mary Sue showing up in movies and TV shows. All right, so these are not people who don't know any better. Right, these are professional writers, professional directors, and so on. You don't get to that position without knowing, what to do and what not to do. Right, they're deliberately doing shit they know they're not supposed to do. So you've got fans, mostly men, probably, I would assume, or they're just assuming they're all men, that say, you're doing it wrong. This is why. Mansplaining! I already know this. Well, if you know it, then why are you doing it wrong? There you go, all right? They're saying it's mansplaining, but what it really is they just don't want you to tell them to do it right. They know they're doing it wrong, and they want to keep doing it wrong. And they get mad when you're telling them they're doing it wrong. Next is shit that never happened. All right, men do this as much as women. All right, so I want to make that clear. But men don't get to call it mansplaining or womansplaining. You make it out as sexist when you call them out for it. But basically, what happens is when you're doing something wrong, okay, and you're telling the story, there are people who they did something wrong, they know they did it wrong, so when they retell the story, they lie. They change the details of the story to make the other party seem like they're in the wrong. And then women, when they're doing that, they change it around and try to make it out to be the man is mansplaining me, but he's not. All right, You're just changing the fucking story. You're making stuff up. And so it didn't happen the way you claimed it happened. Men do the same thing, all right? But again, they don't get to call it womansplaining. Right? I'm going to go back to the man is completely justified in doing what they're doing. Example, all right? I have, I'm subscribed to the DC streaming service. I watch Harley Quinn because I like that cartoon series, okay? Just a little tip, all right? Think of it as, this is, you're viewing this through the eyes of Harley Quinn. She's crazy. So you're watching a show that is from the perspective of a crazy woman's eyes, right? It makes a whole lot more sense when you do that, all right? Because you got a lot of these characters that they're wrong, they're being portrayed incorrectly. But if you think about it, like Harley Quinn sees Bane as a joke. So in the show, Bane is a joke. Harley Quinn sees Poison Ivy as her best friend. And Poison Ivy objectively is saner than Harley Quinn. Although, that's, Harley Quinn is fucking nuts, but so is Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is saner than Harley Quinn. So, from Harley Quinn's perspective, Poison Ivy is the temple of reason. You get the idea. So, it's from Harley Quinn's perspective, and it makes a whole lot more sense when you see it that way. Okay. Batman is the way Harley Quinn sees Batman. All the characters are the way Harley Quinn sees them. Okay, this is why Joker is doesn't come off as a psycho. He's just an abusive ex-boyfriend, because from Harley Quinn's perspective, he's an abusive ex-boyfriend. But moving beyond that, okay. Live action series Teen Titans. All right, in one episode, Bruce Wayne shows up and explains to the Teen Titans shit they didn't notice. All right, gives them the 411 that they needed to know. They needed to have this information. Okay, they didn't, and now they do because he's come up and given it to them. So he's perfectly justified in everything he's doing. Okay, he notices they just did not have this information. He's Batman, so he does. So he gets a hold of them and says, hey, here's what's going on. Once he leaves, Starfire says, did he just mansplain to us? Bitch, you needed this information and you're calling him out for telling you what you did not know, you fucking bitch. Whoever wrote that did not notice just how fucked up that was. Okay, did not need that. Having it would have been, that scene would have been a hell of a lot better if Starfire did not call Bruce Wayne out for mansplaining. But there it is. Okay, but there it is, right? That's mansplaining in a nutshell. A man tells you what you needed to know, but you didn't like being told, so you call it mansplaining. That's bullshit. And doing that means you're a sexist bitch. All right, it's not the man that's being. It's not the man being sexist. It's the woman who uses the term mansplaining who is sexist. This is a sexist term by sexist women who, trying to project their sexism on the men. Even when the man is wrong and in doing things like telling women to smile, all right, it's because the woman who is calling the man out for doing it does exactly the same thing to men, all right, or just making it out to be a thing that only men do. Or it's totally okay when women do it. No, it's not. All right. It's not sexist. It's just obnoxious. And it's not sexist. He's totally justified. Or it's not sexist because it didn't fucking happen.